welcome to a bass guitar review video. Today we have this beautiful looking Ibanez guitar. This is the Talman series. This is basically Ibanez's vintage body style bass guitar. They come in a lineup of guitars ranging from a kind of an entry price to a higher price made in Japan body style, the Prestige, as you all know probably. This here particularly is the TMB300. TMB is what the model names go by. The 300 is kind of positioned in the middle. You have two models that are below it price-wise and quality-wise, and two models that are above it also in the same matter. So this guitar here, it's unique to itself in a certain way, and I'll explain later. And this switch right here is one of the things, and the additional bridge pickup is another unique feature of this specific model. Again, I will explain that later. If you guys want to skip the whole infomercial type of talking, then please, there's going to be a link below. You can skip to me testing this bass, giving you guys a thorough sound test in terms of the pickup tones and everything. But if you want to know more about this bass, which I really suggest you do, then stick with me here, and I'm going to try to fly through it as quick as I can. So anyway, let's start with the body here. The body is made out of mahogany wood, and so are the two models under this guitar here. The higher end ones are made out of woods like alder and ash, very similar to something Fender does. This is again mahogany, and it's a very nice neutral sounding tone wood. A lot of guitars are really made out of mahogany nowadays. It's a very nice resonating wood that's not too heavy, not too light. You have over here the nice looking turtle shell pick guard and this beautiful green metallic color. Now this particular series, the 300, comes in 4 colors. You can see them and view them at any particular website like Ibanez.com. But it's a beautiful color. I mean, this really deserves praise because the finish is just flawless. It's amazing. So yeah, onto the neck. The neck is made out of maple here like usual, really. One solid chunk of maple, no splicing, no nothing, just plain old traditional maple. It's glossed. The entire neck is glossy, however it's not too sticky, so not something to worry about in general. The thing about this neck though is it's a little bit wider than some of the bass guitars that Ibanez normally makes. For instance, the SR series, their 4-string nut width, which is this plastic, usually plastic piece right here, it's measured at about 38 millimeters in width. Now this particular bass guitar is 41 millimeters. It's a little bit thicker, which also makes it a little bit thicker towards this side as well, just to keep in mind. If you have very small hands, and I do too, then I wouldn't worry about it too much because this is a 4-string bass, so it's got a really nice profile, so it really makes up for that extra millimeters in thickness. Very beautiful head here with open tuners in the back, huge tuning knobs. Very nice bass, keeps the tuning in shape real well too. No matter what you do to the bass, it stays in tune. One very good thing about it. So let's get to the controls here. We have 2 stacked knobs here, meaning a total of 4 controls in terms of knobs. You have the master volume, the smaller one up here, and this one here is the pickup blend selector, letting you choose between the bridge and the neck pickups. Here you have your tonal knobs, you have your treble on top and the bass on the bottom. As usual, they have a stopping point in the middle to let you know you're at neutral point. Now this switch right here, every Talman bass I believe has a switch, but on this particular bass guitar it does something special. What it does is let you choose between tap and series on the bridge pickups, because they're 2 single coil pickups put together, kind of like a version of a humbucker. So when you're on a series, it really bypasses a lot of that humming and that noise, and it gives you a really modern wide tone. When you're on the tap, you are only using one of the pickups on the bridge side. It's actually the one closer to the neck, and it gives you this really awesome vintage tone. But do keep in mind it will add noise and buzz like typical vintage single coils do. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, last but not least, my opinion of this bass guitar is the following, that if you're a beginner or you want to learn how to play bass, this is a great option. $300 here in the US is a decent amount to put out for a beginner bass guitar. But me, for instance, I do studio recording and live stuff. This bass unfortunately does not cut it. There are dead spots on the fretboard. It's noisy in a way. It's not really as quiet as I wish it was, even on the series mode. It's just these kind of things bother me, you know, and the craftsmanship is good, but there are just things here that it's kind of like, okay, really, you couldn't have painted that spot or something, like, you know, come on. But again, you're paying 300 bucks for it. It's made in Indonesia. You're not buying a prestige base, you're buying something to play and have fun on. And it's a beautiful base, you know. If you don't know things like dead spots, or you know, you don't care about buzzing noises because you're just going to be picking away at it, then don't bother about it, you know. Don't mind me saying that. That's just my opinion. Would I recommend this to an experienced bass player? Probably not. I would say look at the higher end ones like the TMB300 series or maybe the Prestige series. Otherwise, it is a great bass guitar. And let's start seeing what it sounds like. So to start off with something rather fun, we're gonna try doing slat bass. What I did here was I switched the switch for it to be in the tap mode. So we're only using one bridge pickup. We are centered, so we're using both of the neck and the bridge. All the EQ is at neutral. I'm not adding or taking anything away. So let's see what that sounds like. So now what I'm gonna do is play the same slat bass melody, but I'm gonna switch the switch back to series so we have both of the bridge pickups working. This variation is now going to be finger played with only the bridge pickups. Now let's try the same thing with the neck pickup on only, no bridge pickup, just neck. Last but not least, for this awesome song, we're going to do a variation with both of the pickups in the center so it's all blended together evenly. So that's pretty much all I got to show you guys for this bass. Hopefully the sound tests were good enough quality to where you can tell the difference. Again, I tried not to add anything or take anything away. That way you can hear exactly what this bass sounds like. The only thing that's going to make a difference is hopefully not my end but your end, because you guys could be listening with your iPhone speakers or you could be listening with $500 headphones. I don't know. So that's up to you guys. But if you really like this bass, that's awesome. If now you're more sure about whether you like it or not, that's even better. Again, trying to be as unbiased as possible, and hopefully this video helps you guys out. As always, rate my videos and comment on them. Let me know if I said anything wrong. It's always fun to argue with someone in comments. So anyway, you guys have an awesome day.